Hey guys, Dean Gearhart here, coming at you with another video. Today I wanted to share with you how I keep track of everything. And what I mean by that is, uh, when I say, yeah, I collect it all, yeah, I collect it all. For all four sports, even some boxing. I might have some wrestling cards, some Olympic cards. I know I have non-sports cards that I haven't even shown before. My kids collect some cards, so just wanted to share with you some tips and thoughts of how I keep track of it all. When I got back into the hobby 11 years ago, I was familiar with baseball cards from, the early 50s all the way up through, I want to say, at least 1991. So 1992 rolls around. Keep in mind, I quit collecting in 88. I went back when I first jumped back into things. I started building all these sets from wax boxes and put them together all the way up through this past year. Um, I had a lot of trouble keeping track of the difference between a 1993 Topps baseball card and a 94, unless I flipped the card over and looked at the previous year's date. That was the only way I could tell. It wasn't like in the past where I could say, oh, without seeing this here, that's a 1979 card, or this is a 77. I knew all the old cards, but once I got into the 1992 and up, I just couldn't keep track of all of them. There wasn't, unless it was something like this, okay, 2007 was all black, that would be kind of easy to figure out. But when you start looking at 2005, you look at 2009, 2008, there's some differences, sure. Team names up top, team names at the bottom, players' names on the side, players' names here, so on and so forth. But for the most part, they're kind of hard to distinguish one card from the other. So, and even the same thing with football, too. I could tell you what they were in the 60s and 70s, and maybe a couple in the 80s. But then after that, they all start to blend together again. And unless your favorite rookie was out that year, I'm sure you would have trouble figuring out what year that card was also. So that's kind of why I made up this little reference book here. This also to help my wife if she ever needed to reference anything. We do sell cards at the flea market, so although I don't take this with us, my thought was it might help her. Who knows? But anyways, the other thing I do in keeping track of this monster of a collection is I use Excel. Now I don't use Excel in the traditional way of like creating formulas and all that stuff. I do everything manually on it. I just basically take a blank sheet and I copy and paste checklists whenever I can. If I can't find the checklist that I can copy and paste off of Cardpedia or Baseball or Cardboard Connection, or there's another one, I just can't think of it right now, then I hand type them all in. So, but basically, I break things down like baseball card sets actively building, and you can see they start with the T206, and I do a need list, and then I also do a have list. Like I'll show you my Bowmans. What do they have here? Where the heck did it go? Oops. 1949 Bowman need list. You can see I need 16 more. If I got a card coming in, like I won this auction last night for this Dave Ferris, so I mark him yellow. When he comes in, I delete it off the list. I'll also take the same list, I'll copy, and I'll paste it onto an email, and I'll email it to myself. The other thing I'll do is I have a handwritten list. I'll take that, and I'll handwrite everything out. Now, yeah, I could print this out and do the same thing, but to me, handwriting things out gives me another way of remembering. Oh, I need Stan Musial, or I need Luke Appling. most of these names, pretty much I can say, yeah, I need Berra, I need Spawn, I need Robinson. A couple names like Dave Ferris I may not remember, or I may not remember the Appling. So that's kind of my thought, is if I handwrite them out, that helps me to remember. If my phone's not working at a card show, I at least have it physically written out, or I have a mental picture of it. So that's my thought process behind there. So I don't totally rely on technology. So other things I do to keep track of what I got going on. Let me shut this up here. Supplies. Certain boxes, certain box count. Like for example, this is a BCW 500 count storage box. These are perfect for putting cards in that are sleeved. They're just a little bit wider than the other boxes you can get, just by just a little bit, as you can see there. Okay. And the other thing is the labels that I buy, which I get off of Amazon, fit. They adhere right on there, and they fit perfectly on the BCW boxes. So not to say that they don't fit on the other boxes. They do, but just not as good as this. So, and then I like to go with a paper, because once you've written on the box, or once you do like what I used to do with the label maker, it's kind of hard to get them off. And these are doubles. Someday I might do another 1991 Topps baseball set, or someone gets in touch with me, hey, I got a list I need of 1991 Topps, do you have them? Just pull them out real quick. You know, the other thing is, if I buy a collection and there's a bunch of 1991 Topps, if it gets more than 500 cards, then I start a second set or a third set. That's just kind of what my thought process is. Now, I do have some cards like up there where I've just got thousands and thousands of them, and I've already got 7 sets built of that 87 Topps, you know, but I still have a ton more. I just put them in the bigger boxes. But my rule of thumb lately has been, if I got more than 500, then I start building a second or third set, as you can see up there. Even in some cases, a fourth or fifth set, you know. I like to build sets. Now, some of you out there are saying, why are you wasting your time on a 1991 Topps or a 1991 Leaf set? You can just go buy them. Yeah, you can, but that's being a set builder. Most of the fun is building the actual set. And because I quit collecting in the late 80s, anything in the 90s up through the 2011 are new to me, because I didn't collect them as they were coming out. And I discover other sets all the time that I had never thought about pursuing before. Like these, you had Heritage Bowman, just like you got, you know, Topps Heritage. They had Bowman cards too. I think these are really cool. So I bought a collection of them. So I get comments sometimes, why would you bother doing that when you could buy it for this much? That's the reason why. 1991 Donruss. I've got so many of them. I could probably build 4 sets. Because every time you buy a collection, you get the good with the bad. Or you get the bad with the good, I should say. So that's why I do what I do, you know. And like I said, I wasn't around for, or collecting for most of that stuff. So, but my initial thought process is, when I get a collection in, they start out in a big box like this. Then I break them down into the different sets. Sometimes I got to do some research because I don't know what year they are. Again, back to the reference thing, which I need to do that for all my sets, but I just started out with the vintage Topps baseball and football. So, but from there, then they get moved in, they get broken down into, okay, these are doubles for now. They're just doubles. Now, if I've already got the set going, before they get thrown into a doubles box, I check to see if I need them for set 2 or set 3. And then I got to put them in numerical order in here in my doubles boxes. So it's a long process. That's why it takes me a long time to keep track of things. And I haven't bought any collections lately, so that's helped too. The problem is I bought like 3 or 4 pretty big collections right around the same time, and it just has taken me a really long time to get through them. You get through you go through looking through for all the goodies first, and then you get down to the just putting commons in numerical order. So, but that's kind of my process for doing things. You can see I've showed this before, my supply wall. This is just different things I use for different sets and different kinds of cards. I save different things. I save these boxes because they work good for putting them inside other boxes to hold cards upright if I don't have any of the sponges. So, and I use different pages and different hard sleeves and soft sleeves for different projects that I'm working on. So, still got to go through all these cards here yet too and process all this stuff. So I've got lots of work to do. So, but that just gives you a quick idea of how I keep track of it all. It looks like a clutter, but it is in somewhat of an order. So that's all I got for now, guys. If you got any questions, feel free to drop me a note. Thanks for watching.